So it's no mystery that every single anime, and I mean every anime, the main protagonist is going to have some type of plot armor. And sometimes the plot armor is so obvious that it's so overpowering. You can just feel it, you can just see it. And in this anime in particular, we have this old dude right here. He's like in his 40s, 50s, and I'd say probably his 60s. And they call him a useless old man. But not but not in the eyes of his pupils. Every single pupil that he has trained was fairly young, guys. I would say, average age was like 12 or 13 years old. So he trained them at a very young age. But this is the twist, guys. Now his students are all grown up. They're all grown up. This anime is called From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. So his students are all grown up. And they are like high level adventurers, master swordsmen, or instructors, or they're in the Imperial Guard, you name it, guys. So they've all have been very, prestigiously have making achievements here and there. And they've outgrown their master pretty much, but not really. They really haven't outgrown him because he knows every single one of their weaknesses. But this was one of the most interesting moments where plot armor was introduced. Now here he's fighting this mage. This mage is and now she's even way more powerful than he is. And she's merely just playing around with him. She's really just throwing fireballs here and there, left and right, controlling them. You can see here she's just having so much fun. It's just hilarious watching this guy just thrash him around like it's nothing. But of course, this was a friendly, if anything, a friendly battle. Even though you can see here he's really struggling. It was really a friendly battle just to test the mage's, just to test her abilities, her powers. She's getting tired. She's tired of, not fighting someone on her level. But of course, he's not really on her level. But he's been doing such a good job dodging all her attacks. So of course, right here, she stops the fight because she was gonna actually release a very high level attack, and it was like, nah, I'm not trying to kill you. So she obviously stopped. So yeah, it was a very eye-opening moment where it's like, damn, this dude survived yet again another battle. But then we see it again, guys. We see again. This was episode 3, all right? But then again in episode 3, let me see. This is episode 3. But then but towards the end of the episode, I believe he fights this gal right here. Her name is she's a very high ranking adventurer. You guys can see here another one of his former pupil, a powerful figure who has attained black rank, the highest in the adventurers guild. She's usually very competitive, but she behaves well around her master. She has looked up to Beryl for many years, so pretty much the old dude. So they go on this adventure, but prior to that, they actually have a duel, and within this duel, as you guys can see here, so imagine, he's old. He's only been in his dojo all his life. He hasn't really gone out. They call him useless, and all this. And then, of course, now he's fighting his this very prestige adventurer. Is one of his old pupils. Then, of course, he somehow knows her weakness and eventually defeats her. And it was just so like, what the hell, man? You'd think she would just thrash him. She would just destroy him. But no, eventually he gets the upper hand. As you guys can see here, they go they're having a duel, a scrimmage, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, just to test out his powers, just to prove that he's actually at a high level. And of course, he is in a high level, and he somehow, through plot armor or because he knows her, he really does know her. He knows that her left hand is her weakness. And her dominant hand, she's really just focused on her dominant hand a lot. So he was able to negate her attacks and eventually, defeat her. As you guys can see here, he trips her. Hold on. Yeah, so he trips her, and then she because he attacked her weak hand. And of course, they go through this whole explanation here. And then you see it again in episode 4. Which I just finished watching, guys. This anime is just so much fun. Like, it really just does so much. He's fighting this beast right here, and this beast is pretty much a, how do I say, a high tier beast. Like maybe like a legendary beast. Maybe not that, high in level. But here, bro, it was just so hilarious watching him struggle. Look at this. He's struggling and struggling. Bro, he literally could have died here. He literally could have died. But of course, he's not that useless of a guy. He has some experience, in his dojo. So, let's see. So yeah, he's works as the master at a fencing dojo in the boonies. Calls himself a useless old man. And entrusted by his former pupil Elucia, he went to the city as a special instructor for the Knight's Order. For the knightly order, he is very modest, but his swordsmanship, refined through the years, is already like an art form. Enjoys ale, bro. Who manga character introduction, bro? That's funny. So that's straight from the manga. That's cool. They should do that more often. They should really, the manga should really do that more often. We're gonna do something like that, so that when we put it on the on sites like mine and my list, we're getting it straight from the source, guys. Straight from the author. So you're gonna see here, he's like struggling. It's just so fun watching him struggle. Well, we all know that he's gonna make it, but it's always about the journey, guys. The journey and how he's able to surpass every single challenge. And then his students just start praising him like crazy. As you guys can see here, this girl's just cooking. She's getting cooked. This dude's getting cooked as well, man. He's getting cooked real good. Then, of course, here, one of his students, his pupil, Lysandria, comes out and clutches the victory. Bro, she didn't really do shit. I don't know. Like, it's funny, too, bro. I was like, where was she? Like, she was, like, hiding somewhere throughout the entire episode, just watching her master fight a very dangerous, mythical beast-looking fucking phoenix over here. Or, falcon. What would you call this? What would you call this? But yeah, unnamed monster. This unnamed flying eagle thing. But yeah, as you can see here, he clutched yet again another battle, guys. This anime has just been extremely fun throughout this entirety of this episode so far within the season, guys. If you guys don't know much about this anime yet, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend it. It's extremely fun, and I think it's worth it. So here you go. Self-proclaimed a humble old man. As you guys can see, I'm reading it straight from mine and my list, and I got it from J Novel Club. Is a sword instructor at his dojo in a rural backwater village. In his younger years, he dreamed of glory as a master swordsman, but those days are long behind him. Out of the blue, he receives a visit from a famous former pupil who brings him world-shattering news. He's been appointed as a special instructor for the Knights of the Liberian Order. With his now life turned upside down, Bro travels to the capital and reunites with some of his former students, elite knights, an ace wizard, and even an adventurer who's attained the highest guild rank possible. But why do they all want his tutelage? As far as he's concerned, they clearly don't need him anymore. Can Bro live up to his new position, and will we ever get a moment's peace away from his adoring students? So there you have it, guys. He's really been put on a spot. He really needs to rely on his wits, on his smarts, on his experience as an older gentleman. And you guys can clearly see here, this bro is barely surviving, and it's just so hilarious to watch, guys. But that is all.